My name is Thomas Williams. I am a lawyer and a master's in bioethics. I am a postdoctoral fellow here with a focus on biotechnology and the law. So we're doing a lot of interesting activity around understanding how science relates to policy and looking at legislation around science and how it's discussed and framed. We're also trying to inform the courts about science that's introduced, that's new and innovative, or perhaps junk science. My personal research really looks at how we quantify and consider life as a property value, and how that can change contextually is my interest in terms of if we look at our own personal bodies as property, does that provide some kind of remuneration when the government takes it from you? So many people do want to be a part of scientific endeavors and research and moving us forward. And then you come into the idea of informed consent and trying to make their care a part of that process. And it ends up being really confusing and hard. A lot of us look at our doctors as these their primary role as a caregiver, as a person who's there to help us. I went to undergraduate school with a number of people who are now MD PhDs, and they are in this combined role, which this researcher and scholar in the Legal Academy named Jay Katz talked a lot about, that there's this bifurcation of that role. And so when you go in to get something done and you want to be part of a clinical trial, you haven't yet, I think, been able to discern who's your doctor and who is a clinician who's trying to find a way to a research aim. And I think it leaves us in a really funny place in terms of how we look at involving ourselves in research and consenting to it, and what that relationship actually means vis-a-vis this person is my doctor versus this person is a researcher. And it means that we're commodified differently based upon the role that they're playing. Well, I think I'm guided and went to law school, though I ended up at a corporate law firm, really moved to be a voice for people who cannot. And the idea of social justice is critical. It's been something that my family has been connected to for generations. And my faith says that justice is key, that treating others well is the priority. And so at the end of the day, no matter where technology goes, no matter what we have access to, I think we always have to come back to fairness and ideas of social justice and how we choose to use that technology, and whether or not what we do widens gaps in wealth and accessibility and health, or whether it helps to limit them or can be used to do that. And almost all technology plays both sides, but I think when we think about policy, we really have to consider what direction we're choosing to go into, instead of demonizing or making a saint the technology itself.